Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Wednesday. There's a lot of stuff going on. We can thank Papa Powell for kind of calming the markets a little bit today. So we'll get into that. We'll also get into MicroStrategy is going to be basically backing Bitcoin from going down to 21,000. We'll take a look at that. We also have California governors looking to basically allow crypto. We'll get into that as well. Then we had a bunch of miners report their operations for April. We have Hive, Argo, Riot, Marathon, Digihost, and DMG. Since there's so many of them, I'm not going to put them in this video because otherwise the video will be like an hour and a half long. So I'm going to put those in a separate video. So if you guys want to be aware of when those come out, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and it also helps me out tremendously. So without further ado, as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill. Invest in the following companies and coins. And let's get into the miners here. And then we'll get into Bitcoin. Obviously, we had a really good day in both the markets and Bitcoin, so we'll get into that. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So Annie right now was up 6.41% to $1.66. It's down a little bit in the after hours. Argo was up 3.95% to 79 cents, and it's not trading after hours. Digital was up 6.57 to $2.27. It's down a little bit in the after hours. Bitfarms was up 7.72% to $3.21. It's down a little bit in the after hours as well. Cleanspark was up 10.94% to $7.71. I wish I would have bought more, but I didn't have the cash to do it. So I don't know if we're gonna have another dip here where I can get in a little bit lower, but we'll see. It's up also in the after hours right now. Cores was up 2.49% to $5.76. It's up quite a bit now in after hours also. It's up 5.73% to $6.09. So that one is doing pretty well as well. Digihost was up 5.37% to $2.55. It's up almost 2% in the after hours right now. DMG was up 7.44% to 40 cents. Hive was up 5.96% to $1.60. It's up 0.63% in after hours. HUT was up 8.38 to $4.01. It's down a little bit now in the after hours. Iris Energy was up 6.63% to $10.13. It's up a little bit in the after hours as well, up another 3.95%. Luxxfolio was up 11.11% to 20 cents. And Marathon was actually up 5.84% to 17.76, down a little bit in the after hours. They also reported their quarterly earnings for 2022, first quarter. So we'll look at that in the next video when I finish that one up. Then we got Mawson was up 2.07% to $3.95. Riot was up nicely 6.73% to $11.57. Up a little bit in the after hours, also 1.38%. And Stronghold was up 1.91% to $3.73. And it looks like we might be bottoming out on some of these miners here. We've obviously had a nice kickback in the price on all these today. Bitcoin obviously went up as well, so let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is at 39,660. We did come down and test our support here at 37,500. On the hourly chart, we had it once, twice here. We had it before here as well where we tested it. And let's see if we can see. Let's go to the daily chart on it. And obviously we tested it here plenty of times back here. So it looks like we may have finally... back here we have tested it 1, 2, 3, and then we bounced obviously here. So that's a good sign. Hopefully this will continue. RSI doesn't look too bad on the daily chart. On the 1 hour chart, however, it is looking a little nasty right now. We're a little high, almost being oversold on, or overbought on it. So we'll have to see how this continues on. Obviously, where we're overbought here, we did come down a little bit, get a little breather, and we went back up. Hoping the same thing happens here where we go back up and possibly test a resistance, which is at 40,700. And we'll see how this one plays out. But obviously a great day for Bitcoin and the miners. Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum is now at 2,947. It is now kind of bouncing off of the 20-day support here, the red line. And RSI is looking pretty good as well. It's looking overbought a little bit. But maybe we'll get a little breather and then continue going back up. Or we may have a little slight correction on both Ethereum and Bitcoin in the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at the difficulty here. Difficulty continues to rise, so we're at 227. Let me see if I think that's the most recent one, but let's refresh it anyways. Yeah, 227 is the newest one on the 7-day average. And we did reach 247, and we've come back down to 216. So the miners are definitely getting installed. So let's take a look at the news stories here. So the first story that we have is Bitcoin jumps to 40,000 after Fed Chair Powell rules out bigger rate hikes. This is a good thing, right? This is something that the market wanted, something the market needed actually, because it's been going down like crazy. Let me zoom this in for you guys so you guys can see this better. So Bitcoin began climbing ahead of the end of the Federal Open Market Committee's meetings. The half-point hike was widely expected by many. It surged, accelerated, after Fed Chair Jerome Powell ruled out the possibility of a 75 basis point increase, which is really good. This gives the market confidence that we're not going to see that. So a 75% or 75 basis point increase is not something that the committee is actively considering, said Powell. I think expectations are that we'll start to see inflation, flattening out. And we'll obviously see what April numbers come in like. I think it's either this week or next week we're going to get those numbers. So we'll see if we can get lower than the 8.5 we had back in March. Continuing on here, so any FOMC guidance that does not include a 0.75% interest rate increase would be bullish for both crypto and equities, said Nick Mancini, Director of Research at crypto sentiment analyst platform Trade the Chain. We believe that the market has priced in continued hikes of 0.25 to 0.5 moving forward for 2022. This gives the market certainty, which in turn breeds bullish price action. So this is actually really good news for us. So we'll see how this obviously continues going on. But also going on here, these expectations set up for a not all that bad rally should the Fed turn less hawkish than feared. He told CNBC the first sign of this was today when Powell ruled out 75 basis point hike. This kicked off the rally we're seeing this afternoon, and hopefully this obviously continues on. If there are signs that inflation is peaking, the Fed has some room to show patience. Orsani said a less aggressive tightening policy would be bullish for Bitcoin, Ether, and digital assets, which continue to bounce harder than traditional equities. And obviously we're seeing the miners bounce twice as good as Bitcoin is bouncing. So that's always good. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. But obviously the best news is from the Fed. We got today that they're not going to be going to 75 basis points, or at least they're not intending to, or not looking forward to it. So I think, 0.25 or 0.5% interest rates are doable, manageable, and the market actually likes it. So that's a good thing. Next, we have BTC price gains 4% pre-Fed as MicroStrategy vows to protect Bitcoin from 21,000 crash. So worries over, let me zoom this in again. I don't know why it's so small. So worries over capitulations see MicroStrategy give away key insights into what it would do should Bitcoin price strength deteriorate. So going down here, we got some other information about what's going on in the market right now. But the important part here is MicroStrategy plans for BTC to never get to 21,000. Elsewhere, amid growing calls for a capitulation-style event to put in a fresh macro bottom on BTC USD, contingency plans were also becoming conspicuously more vocal. So MicroStrategy, the company with the world's largest Bitcoin corporate treasury, went as far as to say that would up its Bitcoin buys in such a scenario. So obviously they're looking to buy the dip. So if Bitcoin starts going lower, which right now it's going to be kind of hard for it to do that. We may see that later on this year, but not right now, I don't think. Which is a good case. They're basically backing Bitcoin. Speaking on its Q1 earnings call, Fang Li, the firm's president and chief financial officer, also revealed the conditions under which it would receive a margin call on its Bitcoin collateralized loan. As far as where Bitcoin needs to fall, we took out the loan at 25 LTV. The margin call occurs 50% LTV, so essentially Bitcoin needs to cut in half or around 21,000 before we'd have a margin call, he said. That said, before it gets to 50%, we could contribute more Bitcoin to the collateral package, so it never gets there, so we don't ever get into that situation of a margin call also. MicroStrategy thus far appeared to state that it would actively support Bitcoin markets during a major capitulation. As Cointelegraph recently reported, BTC price forecasts currently call for between 25 and 30,000 as worst case scenario. I was looking at maybe on the chart, I think I had it at 33,000 or 32,000. Where's my chart here? Let's take a look at Bitcoin and where we have the chart pointing to. Going down here, and we had it at 33,250 or something like that as possible support if we broke this 37,500 mark. So I think we're gonna be in good shape. I don't think we have to worry about it possibly getting that low, but you never know if something happens crazy in the markets in the world. we could see a mass capitulation event happen, and we could be looking pretty bad. But it doesn't look like it right now. Next good news. California governor issues executive order on crypto as state embraces blockchain technologies. We're not going to get into deep into it, but this is more obviously growth in Bitcoin, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, I just drew a blank on it. But it's basically adoption. There we go, adoption. So Governor Newsom's executive order on blockchain aligns with Biden administration proposal in March. So the directive spells out a roadmap on regulatory consumer protection, which is good. I'm all for that. The government is calling on California to examine using blockchain solutions in state operations. So think about it, paying your taxes, paying other things, whatever it might be. But obviously, it's a good sign. Adoption is what we want. Adoption is what we're seeing, not only here in the United States, but we're seeing it all over the world. And I think it's going to continuing on, right? We're still like in the early days of the internet before we had that huge spike in adoption and everything else. We're still at the very bottom of it. So I think the prognosis for Bitcoin in the future is actually looking really good right now. And that's it. Like I said, we do have obviously Hive to talk about in another video. I'll do a video on that one separate. Argo as well, provided pretty good numbers. Hive actually had pretty good numbers as well. Digihost as well. Marathon, right? They keep having issues with that power plant at Hardin. So really bad month for them in April. We'll take a look at the numbers for them. And obviously their earnings were down because of it. Not because of April, but because they had that issue of having to shut off miners because of the temperatures and things like that. So they were kind of down a little bit from the previous quarter of Q4. So we'll look at that as well. Riot had an awesome month for production. And then also DMG provided via Twitter, which I don't have up here yet, but we'll get into that as well. So like I said, if you guys want to get all that information, when those videos come out, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and it helps me out tremendously. That's all I have for you guys. So obviously, great day for Bitcoin for the miners. Hopefully this continues going forward. And I wish I would have bought more. Dollar cost averaging is the best way to go, in my opinion, not financial advice. But yeah, I'm happy with things, the way things are going now. I'm going to buy any dips that I can. And we'll get into, obviously, the miners here in the next videos. I'm going to be recording maybe some tonight, and then obviously I'll be recording more tomorrow. It took me like 3-4 hours to pull all the data in because so many of them have reported it. So we'll go over that. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Until then.